Hey guys, what's going on? So I have this Good Housekeeping book of recipes that's from 1920. It was my mother's. I think it was her grandmother's or her mother's. She gave it to me a few years ago because she didn't want it or whatever. And, you know, I kind of leafed through it. Some of the recipes sounded interesting. And I thought I'd make some. Never got around to it, so we're going to do that today. Some of them are kind of weird. They're 100 years old, so tastes were different and things were just generally different. But this quote-unquote different potato cakes sounds really good. It sounds like a tater tot that's been wrapped in bacon. So I'm interested. We're going to take 2 cupfuls of cold mashed potato, 2 tablespoonfuls of milk, 1 egg, and bacon. And that tablespoonfuls is one word with F-U-L-S at the end. That's how all these recipes are. But basically we're just going to, take the cold mashed potatoes. We're going to add the egg to it, well beaten, some milk, salt, and pepper to taste. If the potatoes weren't already seasoned, which we'll just go ahead and mash them and then we'll season them when we make it. And then basically you're just going to wrap it in bacon with a toothpick and set in a hot oven or under broiler blaze if gas is used till bacon is brown and crispy. Serve it once. So yeah, let's get some potatoes peeled, get this going. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and peel some potatoes here. Now, there's some people like my mother who will just take a paring knife and go, brrr! That's not me, man. I use this thing and then I usually end up taking part of my fingernail or my finger or, if I get too fast. My mother, she can pick up a paring knife, peel towards herself, have that whole thing done in like no time flat. She wasn't in the Navy. She didn't do a bunch of K&P duty, but she sure can peel some potatoes. So you'll bear with my horrible technique here. Well, we just go ahead and do one of these, and then we'll jump cut, and I'll do the other ones off camera, so as to not bore you. So a lot of the recipes in this book are interesting because they rely on some interesting things. Some we're going to make eventually on the channel. Don't know when. Want soured milk. So I guess soured milk, you take some lemon and you artificially sour the milk or accelerate the souring of the milk. Doesn't seem to be something people use anymore today. Some people say buttermilk is a substitute, but a lot of places I looked online said no. So, we can either sour some milk or we can use buttermilk. So, got that potato peeled. There's a little bit of eye there that I'm not thrilled about. There we go. So I'm going to get these others done. We'll go and jump forward. All right, the potatoes are all peeled. They're cut up. They're in the water. We're going to get that water up to temperature. And then we're going to get them mashed so we can go to the next step. All right, so off camera, I went ahead and whipped these up in the stand mixer. I am extremely satisfied with how they turned out. I have never done mashed potato in the stand mixer, but they are so creamy. There's nothing I hate more than lumpy mashed potatoes. I know that's some people's thing. It is not my thing. So to continue with the recipe, we're going to add 1 egg. We're going to add some of this milk. We're probably going to need to put a little bit of flour in as a binder. We'll see. I'm going to add some pepper that I've got out there. This is not sponsored at all, but this pepper from Diaspora Company, the black pepper is really good. Like, it's the best black pepper I've ever had. The white pepper is fantastic too. My only complaint with this company is they take forever to ship when I ordered this stuff. And I'm not really thrilled about their other spices. Like, the cost doesn't make sense to me. We've tried like their cinnamon and their saffron and a couple other things, their tikka masala. And not really a fan, but I love these peppers. Anyway, I digress. Let's get this going. So yeah, before I go touching anything here, we're gonna go ahead and get a little bit of pepper in there. Just a hint of white. So we'll go ahead and get our egg in there. And throw that away over right here. Don't mind my arm. Didn't think that went through. I'm gonna rinse my fingers off real quick. So I'm really excited to try these. There's a bunch of like potato and cheese things out of this cookbook I look forward to trying, but these ones just sounded so good. It's basically a tater tot wrapped in bacon. Like, who doesn't want that in their life, right? So we're just gonna give this a mix here. Oh yeah. This is going to take a little more work than I thought. Maybe I shouldn't use the spatula. Ah, it's doing all right. Let me get a spoon real quick. Actually, we're going to use a fork. Oh yeah, that's better. Get this out of my way here. So, oh yeah, that's incorporating nicely. I am going to add more pepper though, because I can barely see any of it. So yeah, let me get this mixed up and then we'll start making it into the balls. We'll get the bacon on it and we'll get it in the oven. All right, so off camera, I added about a half a cup of flour in here just to, kind of act as a binder like the recipe said. Wasn't in the ingredients, but it was there in the instructions. So we're just gonna try this here, make some nice balls. I feel like these might be just a little too small. Really, I guess I should get a knife to do this, but yeah, so you get the point. We're just gonna make a bunch of these balls real quick. We'll come back to do the bacon. All right, so I did a test one here without the toothpick. We're gonna do some with the toothpick, some without. The bacon I'm using is pretty thick. From the sounds of it, at the time, this bacon probably would have been very, very thin, but we like thick bacon. So I think that's gonna hold. And hey, if it works, then it saves you a toothpick. So let's do some more of these. So I've basically just cut these into thirds with my KitchenAid shears, hashtag not sponsored. Although I would love some KitchenAid stuff, just saying. These are a little sticky still. They probably could have stood to be chilled. Yeah, that piece of bacon's not really big enough. So, not the easiest thing. I would definitely recommend chilling these for a little bit once you kind of mix them, because that's not working very well. But it looks good, so. You could probably get by with making the bacon pieces longer, but I didn't really want to use a ton of bacon because this is just going to be a snack today. I imagine these would make fantastic appetizers. Yeah, we're not going to use toothpicks. But you get the idea. Again, I would chill these just a little. I did flour the bottom of this pan, this meal prep container, just so they wouldn't stick as bad. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do that with the rest of these, and then we'll get them in the oven. Okay, so I've got them all done now. As you can see, some of them kind of did not quite work out well. I 100%, if I make these again, will chill the mashed potatoes. Just kind of in a hurry. It's like 5 o'clock. I'm a little snack crazed right now and could use some food. So, I'm not a professional chef. I'm not even a professional home cook. That one's less than ideal. One thing I did do is I went ahead and I did some with the full width of the bacon, but then on others I cut the bacon in half so it's more narrow. We'll see how that works out. Something else I wanted to try, but the potatoes I needed to chill them and I don't feel like waiting another half hour, was I wanted to roll some cheese curds in here. So you might experiment with that. Maybe I'll try that again some other time. So we've just got the oven on broil, because it mentioned the broil setting on a gas oven. This is an electric oven, but we're talking about 100 years later, and it's pretty vague, so we're just going with broil on the oven. Get my free sauna here. So we're just going to watch this and wait for that bacon to be nice and crispy, and then we'll see if these turn out well or if I messed up by not chilling them. So yeah, we'll be right back. First, they've kind of leaked out a bunch. Okay, not what I thought I was going to do. Just to make sure the bacon's getting down all the way, I'm just going to rotate some of these. Well, the first one's rotated pretty easy. So we're just going to rotate these a little and then put them back under there. We still have it at broil. So I might not recommend making these things. Interesting experiment, but they're pretty much just falling apart. And yeah. So let me flip the rest of these and I'll try to get them back in. Alright, so these have been in for about 6 minutes now, and then I flipped them in about 3 more minutes. They look pretty good, so we're going to turn the oven off. I was going to turn the light on, but I'll just bring them to you. Oh yeah. Well, that bacon got a little crispy, the potatoes got a little crispy, but yeah, there you guys go. I gotta set it down. It's getting pretty down hot. Try to get it even so we don't get grease everywhere. Get you a little closer here. I like the little ASMR sizzle. So let's let them cool down a little and then we'll try them. All right, so we've let them cool. The toothpick one did not make a difference. If anything, it was a little worse. But we've got them here. They're nice and cool now. They're definitely seem greasy because of the bacon, so should be really good. Let's try it. That's actually a little disappointing. Maybe I should have added a little bit of salt to the mashed potatoes. If you try these, consider adding salt. We don't really add salt to things. In hindsight, it may have needed it. Or even just any kind of seasoning other than the pepper. The bacon tastes wonderful as bacon is to do. But the mashed potatoes, they're just not quite hitting the spot. They're bland mashed potato wrapped in bacon. You put some chives in there, maybe even a little bit of onion, cayenne, chili, anything probably would have helped these. Not my favorite recipe. I'll probably try these one more time because I want to try them with the cheese curds. But other than that, I'm going to leave this in the 1920s. Anyway, this is my dinner, so I got to eat it. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I will put the recipe, as simple as it is, in the doobly-doo. You know, all that other stuff, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to my Patreon, James Greason. I like giving him a proper shout-out every once in a while because he's been here since the new beginning, the rebirth of this channel, and I really appreciate that support from him. Yeah. Let me know if you guys try this out. It's pretty bland, but the 1920s sounded pretty bland, so take care. Where the potatoes is?
Go potatoes in the pantry and top shelf.
Where the potato peeler is. Don't think that wants to really focus, so we'll bring it here. Oh, we're losing potato.